They dragged me out of my office in handcuffs, the metal cold and biting like a betrayal from the badge I'd worn proudly for 20 years. I was Captain Parton Hill, the only black commanding officer in Brookhaven Police Department, and now I was being treated like the criminals I'd locked up. The evidence was a bag of stolen narcotics from a recent bust, found tucked in my desk drawer during a surprise search. Shock slammed into me. I'd never seen that bag before. The squad room went silent as they paraded me past my team, officers I'd led through gunfire and long nights. Whispers cut sharp, "Captain's dirty?" But my eyes locked on Lieutenant Baca Riker in the corner, his lips curled in a smug smirk that told me everything. He'd always resented my rise, my clean record shining while his was full of grievances. Rage surged, but I kept it locked down. As they pushed me toward the exit, I leaned close to Baca and whispered, "You set me up." His smirk faltered for a second, but he turned away, acting like he hadn't heard. The humiliation burned deep, but I held my head high. This frame-up was his doing, and I wouldn't let it destroy me. The truth would come out, one way or another. If you're watching this, subscribe, like and let me know where you're watching from. The march through the precinct felt like walking through a storm of knives. Officers I'd trained, shared stories with over late coffee, now avoided my gaze or stared with doubt. "Keep moving, traitor," one muttered, a guy I'd once saved from a bad call. Baca followed behind, his voice low but loud enough to carry, "He's been dirty for years. I always knew." His words spread like poison, twisting loyalties I'd earned. My face burned with shame, but I refused to show it. These were my people. I'd fought for fair treatment in a system that often wasn't, inspiring the young recruits. Now, their averted eyes hurt more than any wound. By the time they locked me in the holding cell, the story had hit the wires. My phone, confiscated, would have been ringing non-stop. Then the real blow landed. My teenage daughter, Jasmine, saw the arrest on the local news. She called the station in tears, and they patched her through. "Dad? Is it true what they're saying?" I gripped the bars, my voice steady despite the pain. "It's a lie, baby. I'll fix this." Her sobs echoed long after the call. Baca's setup wasn't just ruining my job, it was tearing into my family. Fury pushed out the humiliation. I'd prove my innocence and make him pay for every tear. Internal Affairs grilled me like I was the worst criminal they'd seen. "Explain the bag in your desk, Captain," the investigator demanded, his tone full of suspicion. I laid out my spotless record, 20 years of clean cases, promotions earned through hard work. But they twisted it, too clean to be real. "Maybe you've been hiding something." The system I'd sworn to protect now turned on me, ignoring my claims about Baca's grudge. "He's jealous," I said. "Check his history, he has complaints piled up." They just nodded, writing notes that felt like they were building a case against me. Hours dragged on, my uniform feeling heavy. Released on bail but suspended, I stepped into the night, mind racing. Then, in the holding cell before I left, a shadow slipped a note through the bars, crumpled paper with scrawled words. "You're not alone. Watch the cameras." My pulse quickened. Who sent it? I pocketed it fast, scanning the empty hall. This could be my first break, or another trap. The fight was just starting, and I wouldn't back down from it. The note was my first clue in this mess. The note kept me up all night, its words burning in my mind. Watch the cameras, it had to mean the traffic cam near the evidence room alley. I'd seen it on patrols, angled right to catch the side door. If Baca planted that bag, it might have recorded him. But getting footage on suspension was risky. I called an old tech contact quietly, off the books. He sent a link by morning. My heart pounded as I played it, grainy but clear, Baca sneaking into my office after hours, gloves on, a bag under his arm. Proof. Excitement surged, but when I tried to download, the file errored. Not found. I refreshed the database, the footage was gone, deleted overnight. Someone had wiped it clean. Baka? Or his allies? Panic set in. The plant happened the night before my arrest, timeline perfect. This wasn't chance, it was planned. Jasmine peeked in my room, eyes worried. "Dad, you look tired." I forced a smile. Just thinking. But resolve grew. That footage was out there, backups or copies. I'd find it, no matter who tried to hide it. Baka thought he'd buried me, but he just handed me a shovel to dig him out. Suspension left me isolated, rumors flying like bullets. Hill's always been shady, people whispered at the store. I avoided public places, the stairs too heavy. Then, a knock late one night. Through the peephole, Officer Jenna Morales, a rookie I'd protected from a bad partner last year. "Captain," she whispered when I let her in. "I believe you, and I saved a copy of that footage before it disappeared." Relief washed over me. We sat in my kitchen, her laptop glowing. The video played, Baka, unmistakable, slipping into my office with gloves, planting the bag. Timestamp matched perfectly. "How?" I asked. "I monitor cams sometimes, habit from patrol." "Saw it live, backed it up." Her eyes were fierce. "This could get you fired," I warned. She shrugged. "Not if we take him down first." Jenna's courage reminded me of my younger self, fighting for justice in a biased system. We had solid evidence now. But Baka was crafty, we'd need more to make it stick. As she left, I locked the door, hope sparking. This unexpected ally could turn the tide, or put her in the crosshairs too. With Jenna's video, we started planning our moves. But Baka struck first. That night, sirens wailed, Jenna's apartment ransacked. Furniture flipped, her backup drive smashed. A note pinned, "Stay quiet or be next." She called me shaking. They knew I had it. I rushed over, helping clean the mess. Baka's got eyes everywhere. Fear etched her face, but anger too. This retaliation showed his desperation, he had allies. The next day, precinct buzz, Baka promoted to interim captain, my job. He paraded in photos, smirking. I watched from home, fists clenched. He'd spun the narrative so well, even the chief praised him. Jenna and I met in a park, away from prying eyes. "We need to hit back," she said. "But the video alone, they'll claim it's faked." I agreed, we needed more. As we talked, a shadow followed. We split fast. Jasmine noticed my tension. "Dad, be careful." Baka's move reeked of fear. With the promotion, he'd bury us. But attacking Jenna hardened us. We'd fight smarter, or lose everything. The game was changing, and I was ready to play. Suspension without pay hit like a storm, no income, bills piling. I paced my house, the silence mocking me. Then Baka appeared on TV as interim captain, gloating in a press conference. "We'll clean up the department," he said, his eyes seeming to dare me through the screen. I hurled the remote, shattering a glass. "This isn't over," I muttered to the empty room. That night, my burner phone buzzed, an anonymous text to Baka's number I'd traced. "I know what you did." "Not from me." "Who?" I hacked a quick trace, it came from inside the precinct. Someone else hated him. Paranoia grew. Was this a trap? I met Jenna at dawn in a park. "Baka's snapping at everyone," she whispered. On edge. Good, he was cracking. But so was I. Jasmine found me staring at old photos, my uniform dusty. "Fight back, Dad," she urged. Her words reignited me. I couldn't let Baka win. We dug into his past, buried complaints, silenced witnesses. Evidence was thin, but building. As I left the park, another text to my phone, warehouse district. Midnight. Friend or foe? My gut twisted. This could be the break, or my end. Midnight shadows swallowed the warehouse. I parked far, heart thumping. The anonymous sender could be anyone. Jenna wanted backup, but I refused, too dangerous. I slipped inside, flashlight slicing the dark. Hill, a voice echoed. Detective Ray Torres stepped out, hands raised. I sent the text. Torres, a veteran we'd clashed with before. Why? I demanded. Baca framed me years ago, he growled. Botched raid, got me demoted while he rose. His eyes burned with hate. Enemy of my enemy? I asked. He nodded. More. Baca's selling seized weapons on the street. I have leads. He showed a photo on his phone, Baca meeting shady figures, crates exchanging hands. Bigger than your frame-up, Torres said. He's got a network. Skepticism mixed with hope. Torres could be lying. But the photo matched rumors. Join us, I said. He agreed. Back home, I reviewed it with Jenna. This could bury him. But doubt lingered, Torres's grudge felt convenient. As dawn broke, Torres texted, Baca's next deal tonight. Let's catch him. The hook was set. Was I the fisher, or the bait? Torres's intel felt like a risky bet, but we had no choice. Jenna and I met him in a rundown motel, map spread out. Baca's strings are deep, Torres warned. He schemes weapons from busts, sells to gangs for cash. The photo he'd snapped listed dates, buyers, damning if true. But trust him? Jenna whispered, what's his real angle? I nodded, grudges make unreliable partners. Still, this could blow my frame-up wide open. We planned the sting, tail Baca to his drop, record everything. No badges, I said. We're shadows. Torres grinned. My kind of op. Night fell heavy with tension. Jasmine hugged me tight. Come home safe, Dad. Her words stuck with me. We staked out Baca's garage. Hours passed, then his car slipped out, lights off. We followed to an industrial yard. He met masked men, handing crates for cash. Jenna filmed from hiding. Got him, she hissed. But Torres tensed. Wait, something's wrong. My gut agreed. The deal felt staged. As they shook hands, floodlights blared. Freeze. Not police, rival thugs. Chaos exploded. Baca fled, crates left. We scattered into the night. The sting had backfired bad. Gunfire cracked as we ran from the yard. Torres vanished into alleys, Jenna and I dove behind dumpsters. It's an ambush, she yelled. Baca's buyers were plants, hired to trap us. He'd known we were coming. How? Bullets pinged metal, I fired back, covering Jenna. We zigzagged to my car, peeling out. Sirens wailed, real cops closing in. At a safe spot, we regrouped with Torres. He set us up, he panted. Morning news twisted it, gang shootout linked to suspended Captain Hill. Baca had planted evidence, my prints on shell casings. My face everywhere again. Tampering with gang activity, the report claimed. Jasmine called terrified. Dad, they're saying you started it. I reassured her, but anger burned. Baca wasn't framing, he was destroying. Jenna checked logs, Baca accessed my old cases overnight. Building a bigger web. Torres slammed his fist. We hit harder. But doubt crept, was Torres the leak? Trust broke. As rain poured, I watched our video. The backfire could bury me. Or ignite the fire to take him down. The fight was far from over, and I was ready to push harder. The new frame-up hit like a wave, papers screaming, "Dirty Captain tied to gangs." Protests brewed outside the precinct, my community doubting me. But the real pain was at home. Jasmine came from school crying. "Kids called you a thug, Dad. Said your why cops hate us." Her words gutted me. This wasn't just my battle, Baka was poisoning her life. I held her, vowing to end it. Jenna dug, Baka's got pull with the deputy mayor. Golf buddies. That's why IA ignores him. Political backing explained the erased footage, rigged probes. Baka wasn't alone, he had power shielding him. We needed to cut that. Torres brought intel. Reynolds, his boss, covers for him. But proof? Thin. Jasmine's tears hardened my resolve. "We'll expose them," I told Jenna. As night fell, we pored over leads. A shopkeeper in my old beat hinted at more. Baka shakes us down. But fear silenced him. I visited alone, pleading. For the community. He wavered. Suddenly, tires screeched outside, Baka's intimidation. I braced. This personal attack crossed a line. My daughter's pain was the last straw. Baka would pay for it all. Baka's shadow grew with each dead end. But the community I'd protected for years became my whisper network. I met informants in back alleys, old allies sharing hushed tales. "Baka extorts protection money," a barber murmured. "Threatens raids if we don't pay." A diner owner nodded, "He plants evidence on rivals." Patterns emerged, Baka's corruption targeted minorities like me. It fueled my fire, this was bigger than my frame-up. Jenna cross-checked, dozens of complaints buried. Torres added, "He's untouchable because of Reynolds." But one lead glowed, a shopkeeper, Mr. Hale, who'd resisted Baka. "He has footage," an activist whispered. "But he's scared." I visited Hale's store at closing. "Captain, I respect you," he said, trembling. "But Baka's men, they smashed my windows last time. I promised protection. Together, we end this." He hesitated, then nodded. "Okay. But you didn't get it from me." He handed a USB. My security cam caught him shaking me down. Heart pounding, I rushed home. The video loaded, Baka, cocky, demanding cash. "Pay up, or your shop's history." Gold. But as I watched, a chill hit, Baka had a masked partner lurking. Who? This web spun wider. Exposing Baka meant risking more. The footage from Hale was dynamite, Baka caught red-handed, extorting cash with threats. But the masked partner in the shadows? A bigger fish. I enhanced the video with Jenna's software, taller build, familiar gait. Reynolds? Torres guessed. Baka's boss? It fit, why else bury complaints? We needed confirmation. Fear gripped Hale, Baka's goons circled his shop. That night, alarms blared, a break-in. I raced over, finding smashed glass, Hale cowering. "They knew I talked," he cried. I chased shadows but caught no one. Gratitude softened Hale. "You saved me, Captain." He handed another drive. More footage, from the back cam. We watched, Baka and the masked man coordinating. Audio snippets, "Boss, this'll keep Hill down." The mask slipped briefly, Reynolds's face. Betrayal deepened, my own captain involved. This wasn't petty jealousy, it was a syndicate inside the force. Jenna gasped. "We take this to the top." But who? The deputy mayor backed them. As dawn broke, I hid the drives. Baka's intimidation failed, he'd pushed Hale into my corner. Now, with proof of Reynolds too, the tide turned. But exposing them meant war. And war meant danger. I checked on Jasmine, sleeping soundly. For her, I'd risk it all. Reynolds unmasked changed everything. Bacca's partner wasn't just backup. He was the architect. As station chief, he'd signed my suspension, buried evidence. Now, the footage tied them together. But victory felt hollow. Reynolds learned fast. That afternoon, unmarked cars tailed me. "They're on to us," Jenna warned. We split, dodging through traffic. Torres called, "Reynolds is panicking, cleaning house." Indeed, files vanished from databases. I confronted Hale again. He was packing to flee. They threatened my family. Guilt hit, my fight endangered innocence. Night fell tense. As I drove home, headlights blinded me, Reynolds's men ramming my car. I swerved, tires screeching, crashing into a ditch. Pain exploded, but adrenaline surged. I bolted into woods, heart thundering. Gunshots echoed, branches snapped under pursuit. "Hill! You're done," one yelled. I hid behind a fallen log, breath ragged. Sirens wailed distant. Real cops? The goons cursed, retreating. I emerged battered, phone cracked but working. Called Jenna, "Pick me up." Now. She arrived, tires smoking. Reynolds sent them, I gasped. To silence me. Her face hardened. Then we go louder. The chase proved their desperation. They knew I had the footage. Game on. But next time, I'd strike first. Bruised and bandaged, I regrouped with Jenna and Torres in a motel. "Reynolds wants me dead," I said, wincing. The chase replayed, bullets whizzing past. Jenna paced. "We have the footage." "Leak it?" Torres shook his head. "They'll spin it as fake." Debate raged, trust frayed. But evidence mounted. The extortion video, Bacca planting the bag, now attempted murder. "We take this public," I declared. Media, protests, forced the mayor's hand. Jenna nodded. "But Bacca's promotion party's tomorrow." Perfect timing. As we planned, Jasmine texted, "Dad, cops at school asking questions." My blood boiled. They targeted her now? I called, calming her. "Stay strong." Night deepened our resolve. Torres scouted, Reynolds beefed security. But we had allies, whispers in the precinct grew. Morning came, I suited up, ignoring aches. "This ends today." We drove to City Hall, footage duplicated. Jenna leaked a teaser online, corrupt cops exposed. Views spiked. Public outrage simmered. As we approached, Bacca's smug face flashed in my mind. He'd framed me, hunted me. No more hiding. We'd drag them into the light. And watch them burn. The leak hit like a bomb. Jenna uploaded the office planting footage anonymously, Bacca's gloved hands clear. Social media exploded, #JusticeForHill trended. Protests formed outside the precinct, chants demanding answers. My phone buzzed, old colleagues whispering support. "We saw it, Cap. It's real." Bacca's promotion stalled, the mayor called an emergency presser. But inside, Reynolds sabotaged. "No wrongdoing," the official line echoed. I watched from hiding as Bacca smirked on TV, fake news. Hill's desperate. Rage surged, they twisted truth again. Jenna hacked deeper, investigations rigged, witnesses intimidated. We fueled the fire, leaking the extortion clip next. Views exploded, millions in hours. Community leaders spoke out, Hill protected us, now we protect him. Jasmine called proud, "Dad, everyone's sharing." But danger lurked. As protests grew, unmarked vans circled. Reynolds's cleanup? Torres warned, they're deleting more. Public pressure mounted, the mayor ordered a full review. Yet whispers said it was a stall. Baca went underground, paranoia peaking. The viral storm raged, but the real fight brewed. If the probe cleared them, we'd lose. I stared at my screen, footage looping. Time to push harder, or watch them slip away again. The full investigation announcement felt like a trick. Protests swelled, but sources whispered, Reynolds hand-picked the team, loyalists. Baca resurfaced on air, playing victim, this smear won't stand. His lies fueled my fire. Jenna dug, we need irrefutable proof. Torres grinned darkly. Baca keeps a ledger, every dirty deal, payoffs, weapons sales. Hidden in his office safe. A game changer. But breaking in? Suicide. We planned meticulously, midnight entry, Jenna on lookout, Torres disabling alarms. Jasmine sensed tension. Dad, don't do anything stupid. I hugged her. For us. As night fell, doubt gnawed, Torres's info too perfect? We slipped into the precinct shadows. Heart pounding, I cracked the safe, years of practice paid off. The ledger, names, dates, amounts. Goldmine. But alarms blared silent, wait, no. Torres? Betrayal? No, Baca's trap. Footsteps thundered. Hands up. Baca emerged, gun drawn, backup flanking. Thought you could steal from me? Smug triumph lit his face. Jenna radioed, run. But we were cornered. My mind raced, ledger in hand, but escape impossible. Baca laughed. This ends you. Desperation hit. How to turn this? The trap was sprung, but maybe I could flip it. Baca's gun gleamed under the lights, his backup, 3 loyal officers, blocking exits. Drop the ledger, Hill, he snarled. Torres froze, Jenna radioed panic, they're everywhere. I clutched the book, mind spinning. This proves everything, you, Reynolds, the weapons. Baca laughed. And who's gonna believe a suspended crook? He ordered, cuff them. Tampering with evidence. But one officer hesitated, a young guy I'd mentored. Sir, the video's online. Is this right? Baca snapped, follow orders. The kid's eyes met mine, doubt flickering. Morale cracked like ice. Another officer muttered, Hill's always been straight. Tension boiled. Baca lunged for the ledger, I dodged. Chaos erupted, a shove, then fists. The hesitant officer tackled Baca's man. Not doing this. Shouts filled the hall. Torres joined, disarming another. Jenna burst in, pepper spray flying. I bolted with the ledger, weaving through the brawl. Gunshots? No, just scuffles. I hit the street, lungs burning. Sirens wailed, real response now. Hiding in an alley, I paged through the ledger, payoffs to Reynolds, gang ties. Damning. But the split squad meant civil war. Baca's control crumbled. As blue lights flashed, I smiled grimly. The force was turning on him. The precinct brawl made headlines, cops clash over corruption claims. Viral footage, someone's phone cam, showed officers turning on Baca. Public fury peaked, the mayor couldn't ignore it. But Baca spun, Hill incited mutiny. Still, doubt seeded. Younger cops whispered support, the old guard wavered. I hid with the ledger, decoding entries, dates matched my frame-up. Jenna met me underground. Squad splitting, half believe you. Torres, bruised but loyal, added, Reynolds is furious. As we planned exposure, one officer texted anonymously, Sir, I'm not following this order. A turning tide. Jasmine called relieved, Dad, officers visited, said they're with you. Hope flickered. But Baca doubled down, raiding allies' homes. Hale's shop torched, warning shot. My blood boiled. This war scarred everyone. We leaked ledger snippets online, corrupt cops' black book. Shares exploded. Protests turned massive. The mayor promised independent probe. Yet Reynolds pulled strings, delaying. In hiding, I rallied the defectors via burner phones. Stand for justice. More joined. The force fractured, loyalists versus truth-seekers. Baca's empire cracked. As night fell, a final text, meet at dawn. Full exposure. The end neared, but the battle raged on. Dawn broke bloody. Defectors met in a safe house, 10 officers, faces grim. Baca's unhinged, one said. Threatening anyone who questions. We shared the ledger, proof of years of theft, extortion. Gasps echoed. This ends today, I declared. But Baca's vow haunted, if I can't destroy you legally, I'll destroy you personally. Chills ran down spines. As we dispersed, tires screeched, Baca's raid. Ambush. Jenna yelled. Gunfire erupted, we scattered. I grabbed Jasmine's photo from my pocket, fuel to fight. Dodging bullets, I returned fire, wounding a goon. Torres covered, go. Chaos reigned, cars flipping, shouts piercing. I escaped into sewers, ledger safe. Surfacing miles away, battered, I called the mayor direct, defectors' intel got me through. Baca's coming for you next. Skeptical, but the ledger convinced. Send proof. I did. Protests raged outside City Hall. Baca's personal war backfired, his violence exposed him. Media swarmed, rogue cops rampage. The force imploded, arrests starting. But Baca evaded, a ghost. Jasmine's voice trembled on phone, Dad, come home. Soon. This civil war gutted the department, but purified it. Baca's fall was inevitable now. Baca's raid left scars, 2 defectors wounded, trust shattered. But the ledger's leak turned the tide. Headlines screamed, corruption exposed in Brookhaven PD. The mayor launched a real probe. I surfaced briefly, meeting Jenna. Jasmine's missing, she gasped. My world stopped. A text buzzed, photo of Jasmine bound, Baca's number. Ledger for her. Alone. Panic clawed my chest. He's desperate, Torres said. We track it. But time ticked. Jasmine, my everything, smart, fierce, now bait. I drove to the drop, heart shattering. Abandoned factory loomed. Inside, dim lights revealed her tied to a chair. Dad, she cried. Baca emerged, gun raised. Ledger. I tossed it. He snatched, smirking. You lose. But rage fueled me. I lunged, we grappled. Gun skittered. Fists flew, his training versus my fury. Jasmine screamed. I pinned him, knee on throat. It's over. Sirens wailed, Jenna's backup. Baca spat, you'll regret this. Cops burst in, his own turning on him. Jasmine freed, hugged me sobbing. I was so scared. Me too. But she was safe. The ledger recovered, Baca cuffed. Yet his eyes promised more. This rescue cost blood, but saved my soul. Jasmine's rescue replayed in nightmares, Baca's gun, her cries. But the ledger was gold, entries detailed weapon sales, extortions, even a plot to assassinate the mayor, pinning it on me. His endgame, Jenna said, scanning pages. Make me the fall guy, take power. Torres nodded, Reynolds signed off. We rushed to warn the mayor, but Reynolds blocked calls. Probes delayed, his aide said. stone-walled. Timeline clicked, police parade tomorrow, perfect chaos for a hit. Baca, jailed but with allies loose. Snipers, I guessed. We mobilized defectors, guard the route. Night fell tense. Jasmine safe with family, I patrolled shadows. Whispers, Baca's men spotted. Dawn parade, crowds cheered, bands blared. I scanned rooftops, heart thumping. Spotters radioed, suspicious van. We converged, goons unloading rifles. Shootout erupted, I dove, firing. One down. Jenna flanked, Torres covered. Chaos spread, parade halted. Mayor whisked away. We captured 3, interrogations cracked, Baca ordered it. Proof tied to ledger. As dust settled, I breathed relief. The plot foiled, but Baca's reach lingered. Parade saved, but the real showdown brewed. The foiled plot shattered illusions, the department rotten at the core. Mayor demanded arrests, Reynolds fled, but we hunted. Baca, from jail, pulled strings, witnesses recanted, evidence lost. He's buying time, Jenna warned. I raced to City Hall with the ledger. This proves everything. Guards blocked, Reynolds's orders. Frustration boiled. Parade tomorrow, Baca's perfect stage. If the hit succeeded, blame on me sealed my doom. Torres hacked comms, snipers confirmed. We infiltrated parade route at night, staking positions. Jasmine texted, "Be safe, Dad." Dawn broke, crowds swelled. Bands marched, mayor waved. I scanned from a vantage, spotting anomaly, roof access open. Sniper. Radio crackled. We raced upstairs, bursting onto roof. 2 men, scopes trained. Freeze. Gunfight raged, I dove, returning shots. 1 hit, Jenna disarmed the other. Chaos below, screams, stampede. Torres arrived, cuffing the fallen. Baca hired us, 1 confessed. Mayor evacuated. Proof streamed live, cameras caught the takedown. The race won, but Baca's shadow lingered. Justice was close, and I wouldn't stop until it was done. Parade day dawned crisp, tension thick as fog. Crowds lined streets, unaware of the threat. Mayor's car rolled, cheers rose. From my perch, I scanned, spotting Baca's men blending in. Positions, I radioed defectors. Suddenly, glint from a window. Sniper. Chaos brewed, shots fired, missing the mayor by inches. Panic surged, people scattered. I bolted toward the building, Jenna covering. Upstairs, bursting in, Baca himself, rifle smoking. "You," he snarled. We grappled, gun clattered. Fists flew, his training met my rage. "You framed me," I yelled, pinning him. Backup arrived, but his allies fought back. Brawl spilled to streets, live on TV. Defecting officers turned tide, subduing goons. Baca broke free, aiming at me. Click, empty. Tackled, cuffed. "It's over," I panted. Cameras rolled, ledger waved. Mayor, safe, addressed press, "Corruption ends today." Baca's face twisted in defeat. The showdown ended with him in chains, his plot shattered before the world. The city breathed relief, but I knew the healing was just beginning. Baca's arrest broke the dam. The ledger broadcast, exposing the rot. The mayor fired him and Reynolds on the spot, the latter caught at the airport. Department reckoning began, audits, resignations, a full cleanout. I stood bruised but unbroken, reclaiming my office. Instead of revenge, I spoke to the press. This wasn't about one bad cop. It was about never letting corruption win. The community cheered, Jasmine hugged me proud. Jailed, Baka glared through bars, his empire gone. Reinstated, I mentored anew, the department healing from the inside. Justice served, and the force emerged stronger. The end brought peace, but the scars reminded me to stay vigilant. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you like this story, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your impressions of this story in the comments. To listen to the next story, click on the playlist now.